for a while. Good morning. We're going to call the meeting to order. It is tax day, April 15th, so a little extra gusto in our pledge I would expect this morning. So let's do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And we will open with a prayer. Heavenly Father, we beseech your divine guidance on this meeting. Keep us ever mindful of our obligation. Grant us, dear Lord, wisdom, tolerance, and courage that we may well serve our county and fulfill our trust. Amen.
Amen.
I will make a motion to approve the April 8th Commissioner minutes.
Second the motion.
Motion second. Any additions, corrections, discussion? Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes. Moving on, we're going to begin with a commendation. This morning, we have a commendation regarding a retirement in our sanitary department. So this is a commendation commending Russell Edgerton for his 31 years of service with Medina County. Whereas it has come to the attention of the Board of County Commissioners, Russell Edgerton has decided to retire from the Medina County Sanitary Engineering Department on April 17th, 2025. Russell was hired on April 17th, 1994 as wastewater plant operator at the Hinkley Wastewater Treatment Plant and earned his Class 3 wastewater operator certification on November 22nd, 1996. Russell was a dedicated and loyal wastewater treatment plant operator during his employment with the Medina County Sanitary Engineers. He was an influential mentor to many plant operators during his years of service, always willing to share his knowledge with others. Russell strived for perfection in his work and took great pride in operating and maintaining the Hinkley Wastewater Treatment Plant. Russell's many years of service to the county residents is greatly appreciated, and the Board of County Commissioners wishes to recognize and honor Russell for his commitment and diligent work during his career with the Sanitary Engineers Department. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of Medina County, Ohio, that Russell Edgerton be and is hereby commended for his 31 years of service with the Medina County Sanitary Engineering Department. Be it further resolved that the board wishes to take this opportunity to offer best wishes to Russell Edgerton for his retirement. And
I will make a motion to approve.
I will second the motion.
motion, second, any discussion?
Thank you for all your service.
Yes.
Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes. And would you come up for a photo? And then I believe it's, yes, thank you. And is it Jim Sprosty, you're going to be speaking? Yeah. Okay, great. We're going to do a quick picture here. Okay. Thanks. Congratulations. Congratulations. Thanks for your service.
Thank you, Commissioners. When I first started with Medina County Sanitary Engineers in 2007 as operator in training, Russ was one of the first people I was paired up with. He took time to show me the basics of the job, the lab work, the equipment operation, and preventative maintenance. I know he's helped many other people throughout the years learn the job. He's always willing to help out, always willing to share his knowledge. It was a pleasure working with Russ. I owe him a bit of gratitude for helping me become the operator I am today. He will be missed by the entire staff at Hinkley Wastewater Treatment Plant. I'd like to wish Russ the best in his retirement and offer him the opportunity to visit the plant in the future to see how some of our ongoing projects turned out. Thank you, Russ, and thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations. Moving on, we have public comment regarding any pending resolutions. Is there any public comment on any pending resolutions today? Seeing none, we will move on to our resolutions. We're going to start with the highway engineer, Dan Becker. Dan, good morning.
Good morning. I've got 4 resolutions for your consideration today. The first is approving a new 3-year contract between the Medina County Engineers and the Teamster Local 436, representing our highway maintenance workers. The second is accepting and awarding the 2025 ODOT Item 441 Thin Overlay Parking Lot Project. The third one is authorizing participation in the ODOT winter contract for salt. And the last is supporting the county engineers in submitting an application for the FY26 Community Project Funding Project for a bridge.
I'll make a motion to approve the 4 resolutions.
Second the motion.
Motion second, any discussion? Is this next year's salt that we're approving? Can we just maybe take a couple weeks?
You know,
No.
you don't get it now, you won't get it then. so-
Okay, okay, well, I appreciate your diligence, I just don't want to think about it.
I know.
Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Dan. Next up, sanitary engineer Jeremy Cinco. Hi, Jeremy.
Morning, everyone.
Good morning.
3 resolutions for consideration. The first is accepting and awarding the bid for the Bachdel and Branch Water Main Improvement Project. The second is authorizing a 1-year extension of the contract for hauling and disposal of cake biosolids, DAF float, and hauling of liquid waste activated sludge. The third is declaring the necessity and authorizing the sanitary engineer to announce the availability of a construction manager at risk service to plan, coordinate, manage, direct, and construct all phases of the Westfield Water Treatment Plant project.
I'll make a motion to approve the 3 resolutions.
Second the motion.
Motion second, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
All right, well,
Thanks,
thank you.
Jeremy.
Very good, thank you.
Denise Testa, planning.
Good morning, all.
Good morning.
I have just one resolution to approve a fair housing professional service agreement with the city of Medina.
I will make a motion to approve.
Second the motion.
Motion second, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
All right,
Yes.
thank you.
Thanks, Denise.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Brandon Gibson from Economic Development. Morning, Brandon.
Good morning, Commissioners. Thanks for having us. Just one resolution approving a revolving loan fund loan to VCS Salon and Spa. Just for some background, this is federal money from HUD that comes down through community development block grants to the State Department of Development, and then the county is able to request it and loan it out to businesses to make renovations, improvements, additions, etc.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second the motion.
Motion second, any discussion?
And this has been reviewed by the revolving loan fund committee.
Correct.
So, and approved. Thank you.
Roll call.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Thanks.
Thanks, Brandon. Next up, Holly Mirren, HR. Morning, Holly.
Good morning.
Morning.
I have 2 resolutions today. The first being our personnel changes resolution. 2 new hires, 1 at Solid Waste District and 1 in maintenance, 1 promotion in maintenance, 5 rate increases, 1 at Solid Waste District, 1 in sanitary, 2 at County Home, and 1 at Job and Family Services. 2 leave of absence, 1 in sanitary and 1 in transit, and 2 resignations, 1 in commissioners and 1 in dog shelter. Second resolution is amending the table of organization for the Medina County Dog Shelter.
I'll make a motion to approve the 2 resolutions.
I will second the motion.
Any discussion?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, Chris Jacob is leaving us this week. I just wanted to say thank you to him so much for coming back and helping us during the last couple years of transition.
See, I was almost gonna make a motion to amend it and delete that.
Delete it, I know.
That one for special project director. 'Cause
Yeah.
I could think of a couple other things I'd like
I
to
know,
work on.
but he wouldn't listen.
I know.
And in typical Chris Jacob fashion, nowhere in the room to hear all these nice things being said about him.
Yeah,
So,
indentured servitude is just out of style.
he will be missed, and he's done a great job.
Yeah, yes.
Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Holly. Next up, finance. Brett Thomas. Brett is in the room today.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
I have a real quick one for you this time. We've only got 4 resolutions. Our first resolution is the transfer for the County Home Levy Fund for the quarterly expenses in the amount of $338,245.85. Our second resolution is the purchase of 6,600 gallons of regular gasoline for the engineering center. Ports Petroleum came in as our low bid again at $1.98.5 per gallon. Our third resolution is expenses for county officials. We've had a couple changes to this resolution that are updated now on the website, I believe. Out of towns, we have for the sheriff, we have a special event safety seminar in Fort Lauderdale from May 20th through 22nd. And then for the jail, something that looked really kind of cool for them, a mock prison riot in Wheeling, West Virginia on May 5th. And then the 2025 National Jail Leadership Command Academy in Huntsville, Texas. And then our fourth resolution is our weekly bills in the amount of $6,705,687.14. And that bill is so large because we have the sales tax that got paid out that we approved last week.
I'll make a motion to approve the 4 resolutions.
Second the motion.
Motion second, any discussion? Roll call.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thanks, Brett. Next up, we have County Administrator Matt Springer. Morning, Matt.
Good morning. 3 resolutions. The first one is authorizing a change order number 1. This is with the County Home Foundation project. Demolition work, so the architect can put together more detailed plans. The second resolution is authorizing an agreement for the purchase and replacement of the Kone elevator system at the Human Service Center. This is a 2025 capital improvement project, and we would take advantage of the cooperative purchasing agreement we have with Omnia. And then third and final is authorizing an RFP to be issued for the Hubbard Valley Radio Tower construction project.
I'll make a motion to approve the 3 resolutions.
Second the motion.
Motion second, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matt. Moving on to department updates. We have Richard Nelson with us today. Good morning, Richard.
Good morning, Commissioners. Building Department report for March. Overall value of construction continues to be down from last year. 28% less than last March, in fact. And the average home cost for March was down just a little bit to $409, which is oddly very close to the year to date, which barely changed, still just under $409,000. And I saw an article on the news just yesterday that the national average is $410.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's kind of amazing. For March, we had 32 new home starts, which is also just a bit below average. Last year was 30. Previous in 2023 was 45. So, but still a little below average. Page 2, our monthly receipts down a little over 9%. And page 3, our year-to-date receipts down 13%. So that reflects the amount of activity out there. Moving on to page 4, residential permits by township and village. And of course, Wadsworth showing on there now with some activity. Now that we're doing Wadsworth City. Page 5 is commercial permits by townships and villages. And page 6 is commercial construction issued in March. Ended up being about $3.5 million worth of construction.
I may have asked this before. Do the receipts include the Wadsworth City permits?
They do now.
Okay. So when we're down even with
Way
new
down.
permits coming in. Yeah.
Yes, true. Yeah, there's just less commercial activity right now. And the residential's down also. But yeah, it would be even worse without Wadsworth City, I guess you could say.
Yep.
Other than that, our commercial review times is 3 weeks or less, and our residential is 3 days or less.
Yay.
Yeah. So, but everything's going pretty good.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Richard.
Have a good day.
You too.
Thanks.
Next up, Bethany Dentler from Economic Development, the Executive Director. Morning, Bethany.
Morning.
Year-to-date, Medina County's economic development activity, I think, is still on a healthy pace. We've seen a 17% increase in the number of companies who are making capital investments. Some of them are a little bit smaller. So far in 2025, we're tracking $83 million of new capital investments committed year-to-date. This is slightly behind the $88 million that we saw last year at the same time. The projects this year are associated with 240 new jobs and projected additional annual payroll of $8 million. Over the past quarter, the Economic Development Office has been working on manufacturing projects in places like Brunswick and Medina. We have office and commercial projects in Granger, Montville, and Hinckley townships. We're seeing mixed-use projects in Montville and Medina townships. We're also continuing to work with the developers of several large properties in Harrisville Township, which are in, I'll just say, various stages of development. We met just last week with the agents for the new Interstate Commerce Park, who are redeveloping the former Lodi Outlet property. They're putting 329,000 square feet of flexible space on the market. When I say flexible, I mean it could be anywhere from retail to assembly to distribution. So they truly can build you almost anything you need. And I think this is the largest, just looking at the square footage, this is the largest site that we have available in Medina County, and they're already bringing some new companies here. We're also pleased to see that Lorraine Medina Rural Electric Cooperative finally celebrated the ribbon cutting for their new headquarters in the village of Spencer. I seem to recall announcing it back in 2019, so it's good to finally see that open. That's going to bring 40 new jobs to Medina County. As I said, we've been working with them for over 7 years to bring the project to fruition. We helped them secure a transportation grant for a new road that not only will serve them, but it opens up the development opportunities into the new industrial park where they moved, and there are still about 50 acres available for development there. In other good news, we're planning a grand opening ceremony for a Japanese-owned company that is opening an office in Granger Township, and they're bringing 100 new jobs to Medina County. I'll have more details for you in the next few weeks, but we're probably looking at early June for that. We're also pleased that Akron Children's has finished renovations on the former ER space at Suma's Lake Medina facility, and that is opening this week. You may have seen that in the news. As I've mentioned many times before, we do gain a lot of intelligence by meeting with business executives. I think we've met with 68 so far this year, and we are still hearing about growth plans, but any immediate need for new employees seems to have slowed down as they're trying to kind of adjust to what's going on in the economy. There have been a lot of concerns expressed about the potential impacts of tariffs on their own supply chains and the costs that they will likely have to pass on to consumers. We're working in collaboration with our county chambers of commerce and city economic development offices to organize an upcoming webinar on how foreign trade zones could potentially mitigate the impact of tariffs. I think we're looking in early May, so once we have those details organized, it will be great to have as many businesses who are impacted by tariffs to attend. I was also talking to our program committee this morning about maybe doing a Tariff 101 because we hear a lot about it in the news, but people may not necessarily know exactly how that works. Unemployment rates continue to stay low in Medina County. As of February 2025, our unemployment rate is 4.3%. That is higher than January, but that kind of creep up in February is very normal historically, so nothing to panic about. Medina County is still well below the 5.4% unemployment level in the state of Ohio and the 4.5% rate in the United States as a whole. In the county, we have 99,600 people in the labor force, which is 800 people higher than January and nearly 2,000 people higher than last year this time. And the report shows that there are 4,300 unemployed people who are seeking work. So workforce obviously is always top of mind. So some updates on our workforce development programming. In our Medina County Manufacturing Partnership effort, we're working to formalize new bylaws and a new board structure for that partnership. We consider every manufacturer in Medina County to be a member. There are over 200 manufacturers in the county, so this group will be a strong advocate for the manufacturing industry as a sector partnership. This organization is funding the Teacher Boot Camp program, which we're organizing for this summer. Speaking of which, Ashland University has approved Medina County for 15 slots for the Teacher Boot Camp. They will provide state grant funding to pay for 3 graduate credits for local teachers who all need continuing education for their recertification. We have hired Roger Wright. You may remember his name from, he was formerly the director of the Four Cities Compact. So he has all the credentials that we need to serve as our adjunct, and we're working on coordinating with the manufacturing community to organize plant tours for that program scheduled for the first week of June. Basically, they'll meet 3 days with manufacturers. We're going to pack in as many as we can during that time. And then the teachers will put together lesson plans based on their real world learning that they can actually take into the classroom. But on the final day of the program, we're planning to invite local officials and the manufacturers they visited with to hear their presentation. So we'll get the date to you if you're able to join us. I think it would be great. We're working with the Career Center to identify space. Our pre-apprenticeship program, we expect to finish the school year with nearly 300 students having gone through the pre-apprenticeship program this school year. Over the past 6 months, we've created videos of the 11 required modules in the program that right now those modules are being used by teachers. It's made the process a lot easier for the schools to administer. And I think as we look just at up until this year, we had already graduated 300 in the previous 3 years. So now we've got 300 in this year alone. So I think word is getting out to our schools that this is a program not just for students who may be credit deficient and need those credits to graduate, but also for students who need some soft skills and real life skills to be able to be ready for work. Our career coach program, Mitchell has met with 210 students so far this school year for one-on-one coaching sessions with county high school students. He's also been promoting applications to our work scholarship program. So for high school seniors intending to go straight into the workforce, we're encouraging them to apply for that $1,000 grant so they can kickstart their careers right here in the county. He's also keeping busy supporting career fairs at local school districts. He'll have a booth at the Black River Career Fair on April 17th. He's also helping to organize the Brunswick High School Career Fair on April 23rd and Wadsworth High School Senior Send-Off on April 24th. Regarding the County Forward Fund, our board met this week and elected a new board member, Jamie Camino. She just retired as a counselor from Brunswick City Schools. She's been an outstanding partner in our outreach to students for career guidance, and she's going to provide great insight, I think, for our board as we work with our school system. That board will be meeting later this month to evaluate the applications that are coming in for the scholarships. A few other updates on our activities. The Medina County Land Bank, that board met just yesterday to review the responses for the requests for proposals to identify development partners for affordable housing projects. The board selected Habitat for Humanity of Medina County to award grant funding for 6 projects, and we'll be meeting again in May to look at some additional awards. We do expect the state budget, if all goes well, will provide additional funding for the Welcome Home Ohio program. So the board will have to decide if we want to apply for that again. The Port Authority Board, we had a special meeting on March 17th. We approved a resolution for a capital lease for a commercial developer in Wadsworth, which enabled us to provide a sales tax exemption certificate so they can start ordering materials and start building this summer, and that project will invest over $9 million. We're also working with the Wadsworth City Schools to develop documents for the redevelopment of the Central Intermediate School, and the Port Authority plans to help facilitate the sale of that building later this year. One more quick update, our partnership with Team NEO. Their new CEO is former Ohio Senator Matt Dolan. He's scheduled to visit Medina County all day on April 22nd. We have a full day of meetings organized. We'll be visiting with several companies that have worked with Team NEO on economic development expansion projects. We'll have a manufacturing roundtable. We'll have a lunch with local elected officials. Hopefully that's all on your calendar already. And we will have a very frank conversation with our economic developers in the county. And he will end the day with meeting with local media. So there'll be an opportunity to kind of dig in a little bit more about what he's up to. One quick announcement, if you will save the date, Tuesday, July 8th is our summer kickoff picnic. We'll have an evening networking event at the Blair Center in Westfield Township. We're going to have what Sherry calls an elevated picnic, so it should be great. The Blair Center always does a great job. We'll be planning on some fun activities, and we'll be honoring the recipients of the County Forward Fund scholarships. So that is our economic development report for the quarter.
Just wanted to say to LMRE at the opening, Jake Altman represented economic development well. His daughter was there. She should have also probably gone up there and been also like a star of the show too, but I guess she's a little shy about that.
We believe in interning students young. I think she's five at the moment. She spent the day with us.
I'll just say that is the epitome of the partnerships. As you know, over the years, economic development was key in that, as well as Spencer. I'll just say, Lit Fiber too has been a great partner there with their node and with the development, and of course, we, the commissioners likewise have supported that. The one, and as I understand the one, if you don't mind me mentioning, the one obstacle still remains for the development of that industrial park is access to natural gas. Unfortunately, the supplier, the original supplier of that, who provided in writing, I'll just say assurances that it would be there, apparently was a worthless assurances, because there isn't availability. And that unfortunate, for all of us that try to encourage economic development, when public utilities literally are misleading you as to their availability of those services, that's a disservice to the public interest. And I think that, unfortunately, well, I guess that is something that will continue to have to work around, but still, it's a great facility, 250 people capacity for that meeting room. I could see, hopefully, Economic Development Corporation will have a meeting over there.
We plan
I
on
know
it.
it's a little bit of drive for some of us, but it's worth the drive. It really is a beautiful facility, and it's offered, the community room is offered for all community groups and everything to use. And it's going to be a shining star in that area of the county.
Absolutely. It's a great asset.
When Steve was telling me about that, I realized NOACA has been discussing having rotating meetings in some of the counties, and it was a challenge for me to identify a spot that'd be big enough. That spot would definitely be big enough, and it might be interesting to let some of the NOACA board members experience some of the outer reaches of our region.
Absolutely.
So I'd like to make that happen too. Question about, and you're just, I ask this question anytime something happens in the medical front in Medina County. Does Akron Children's have any plans for labor and delivery in their facility?
We've talked with many medical providers about that, and I don't believe that's in the plan. That facility was not constructed to have that happen. We asked, what would it take to make that
Right.
happen? They said, well, we probably need to, actually spend more money renovating the building. It'd probably be cheaper to tear it down and start fresh. So
Yeah.
that's just a
Well,
very
as you know, when
unfortunate.
Medina made their decision to close their birthing center, Senator Alboff and I were both obviously in the House, and we did have a number of meetings actually with Cleveland Metro to potentially open
Yep.
up, and as well as Medina. And when they looked at what's going on at the regionalization, the NICU, the neonatal ICU that's required for those, it just, they basically said it's not going to happen. So it'd be very difficult even to get state funding if basically when they look at the, if you will, the footprint or the area that's served, if it can't support it.
Yeah.
And at that point, the decision was to obviously devote state dollars elsewhere to the other existing birthing units in Akron and Cleveland, North Homestead, I think, or Fairview
Yeah.
Park, that's what I'm thinking about.
Which
Yeah, Fairview
which is the fundamental paradox to me, that
Yeah.
the one community that's actually growing in the region is the one where you can't deliver a child.
I know.
I guess we just have to keep growing, and
Yeah.
then maybe
It's,
that's
it's unbelievable. Yeah, I know.
So, okay. Well, again, not your fault, but I just want to ask the question.
Yeah.
I want to keep it top of mind because it's still top of mind for me.
Yeah.
So,
understood.
thanks, Bethany.
Thank you.
Moving on to Commissioners' Resolution. We have a Commissioners' Resolution today, reappointing a member to the Medina County Advisory Council on Aging and Disability. This is a reappointment of Joan Weigel. She is the Township Association member number 4. Her term expired on March 31st, 2025, and she's expressed an interest in continuing to serve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I will second the motion.
Motion second, any discussion?
I'll just say she's a consistent attendee of it, goes out all the time, very involved. Just thank her for her willingness to serve.
Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes. Next up, public comment. Is there any additional public comment? Mr. Farron? Yes. Good, good. Well, I knew when you had your Historical Society dress whites on that we were
Yeah, this
hearing
is
from
a
you.
fairly new shirt.
Yeah,
too,
it's
so
nice. I
I
like
haven't
it.
coffee stained this one too bad. So.
Yeah.
But first and foremost, thank you to the commissioners for your support this past year. Again, I can't tell you how vital that is with rising insurance and utility costs. It really keeps our museums operating. And we have had a full calendar this year like I've never seen. But I wanted to call attention to a gesture you made some months ago, Matt, help. The War Bond building that came to us. It also received award from the Cleveland Architectural Society and American Association of Architects last month, and we went to Cleveland to receive this. It was kind of dumbfounding because the competition we had in front of us of the awards, and they said, no, the War Bond building has more history per square foot than any building we presented awards to. So I just wanted to thank you. And that gesture actually had a subsequent move. Last night, we convinced the Medina City Council to move the interurban station from in front of the hotel to the back of the McDowell Phillips house property. We've arranged for a house mover from Wellington who's looked it over and says, easy peasy to move this place. I hope that rings true. But they were a little hesitant, and it took quite a bit of selling of the concept. The Community Design Committee and the city actually were the original recipients as a gift from the family. So there was a little question of ownership that we had to kind of iron out with Mr. Huber, and I intend to do that today, that I don't really think the city owned it entirely. And certainly nothing against the hotel project. It was just clearly the wrong place for that small little building to be sandwiched in.
Closer to the original route.
Correct. We tried to get that. The Yost Sunoco station is off the table. That won't happen. But I did want to let you know that your actions had a far-reaching effect. Because not only has it driven more traffic into the museums, we have had a full year of activities and displays. And that War Bond building has created more visitors and more education than any other object we've had.
That's great.
People don't even know what a war bond is. So we start with the financial side, then we go to the war effort, and while it's a sad, tragic part of our history, it's an important one. And I think it's important for us to tell that story. Likewise, on the interurban, that was an important transportation means for many, many years for the agricultural products, as well as bringing products from the Cleveland into Medina and vice versa, from the county into the cities. It was an enormous system. I just wish it was still around. It was very, it helped the farmers and all the rural communities connect with the cities for goods and services. And the third thing is, it's been a busy year, and I can't even tell you all the different activities, but Commissioner Hambley will be happy to note I have in my hands the first just draft print copy. This is our America 250 project that we are documenting all the Revolutionary War soldiers buried in Medina County. I believe there's 49 of them. About 70 pages with stories about every soldier we were able to research. This was a 9-month project. Took a long time to track them down and get all the information from DAR, from Fold Tree, from Find a Grave, and so on. But we put together an interesting stories, and some of these soldiers are fascinating what they encountered.
It really is. It's previously unpublished histories of these individuals and their families.
Yes.
So this is astounding. I was
Well,
able to read the draft copy.
And now it
make
has
some comments.
pictures. So
Now it has pictures. Grab, see the picture.
But anyway, I just wanted to
Who are
thank-
the artists, if you want to recognize
Kathy
them?
Kraus and Rich Doyle,
Right.
who
Okay.
actually did
Right over
this.
there.
They both volunteered their services to draw the sketches. It's basically developed more on 8th grade, more or less reading level for the elementary schools and the younger children to understand our history. It's very easy to read. We didn't go through it fact. We kind of put the story to a narrative that told a little bit more about it. But these are just some of the activities the Historical Society has undertaken. And this is all a committee of volunteers. So with all due respect, Bethany, I have at least 3 to 4 FTEs that you don't have on your statistics. Unfortunately, I don't pay them a dime, so nor do I get paid a dime. But there is a lot of activity in history right now. Of course, Hinckley has their bicentennial coming up. We'll support that. Friday night, you have the 2 lights in the tower, which I understand Reverend Luke Linden has to be the guy up in the tower
Is he
for
going?
insurance purposes. Yeah, Andrew Dutton was going to do it, and he got the axe because of insurance. So
Really?
Reverend Luke is going to go up in the tower with the 2 lights. People will meet in the gazebo with your lanterns. Paul Revere horse ride will come through, and Charlie Raymer, one of our trustees and vice president, will be speaking on behalf of the other gentleman who got captured that night. But anyway, they're going to tell the
So
story
the
of the
Revolutionary
midnight.
War Veterans book will be also available digitally as well as at the library.
That's correct. It'll be a PDF version at the library with the full. There are some details we didn't put in the print copy that we'll include as an addendum to it. But we hope to have this print by the end of the month, and then I would hope to distribute it to our grant deadline of May which came right down the wire. But anyway, I think very happy with the way it's turned out. And it's been a lot of work. The best accolade I got is Mary Jane Brewer read it and thought it was wonderful. And as a former English teacher, she has nailed me on everything
That's
I've
a high
written over the
standard.
years. So I really appreciate her feedback. So thank you again.
Thank you.
Commissioners.
Great job.
Thank you.
Your
Great job.
support means a great deal.
Thanks for all your work, too. Any other public comment? Stan? No? Discussion session. Matt, do you have anything? Bethany? Brandon, anything else? John? No? Colleen?
So Monday, May 5th, the company that we hired, I think it's WDC for the Fair Board project, will be having their first meeting with the Fair Board to start the project, gather information, and move forward.
Great.
So
Super.
they will be on site here on Monday, May 5th.
Is that a full board meeting, or is there a committee?
Well,
or-
they're gonna come here and meet with me and Denise and maybe Chris from 6 to 6:30, and then they're heading over to
Okay.
the. I believe it's a full fair. I believe it's a full meeting. Yes.
Great. Anything else?
That's it.
Steve?
Yeah, I wanted to just go ahead and publicly, I guess, discuss and start the discussion. As you know, the House budget was passed, and there's a provision in there regarding the recorders. That the recorder puts fees on for transfers and so forth. That is for the low and moderate housing trust fund. Historically, since that was installed about 20-some years ago, all the money would go to Columbus, and then of course be distributed through their various programs, housing trust fund. Occasionally, hopefully, when we get their competitive nature, every now and then Medina County would gain from that. There was a time we didn't get anything, but every now and then some of Skip Sypo's projects have been able to successfully get some of those dollars. But in the House budget, those fees that are collected will now go to the county if the Senate agrees. If it goes through the Senate, hopefully it stays intact. The original version of it was to have the Department of Development develop rules and if you will, stipulations of how it would be used. The latest version says that it is up to the county commissioners to determine how that money is to be spent for housing. I would suggest we continue to follow that. I know the Land Bank, we're going to do a letter of support for maintaining that because we can then see the opportunity. And Colleen, as a recorder, you well know.
Yeah, it's a windfall of money depending on the year, especially, and if the interest rates take a downturn next year and refinances start happening on mortgages that were obtained in the last 4 years, it could really be a significant windfall of money.
Yeah, and we're having Brett actually is going to look up and see historically how those dollars are, and they're quite significant. But as money that could be developed for housing and for housing, and I think obviously we ought to take a serious look at that, how we want to approach it, evaluate it, should that comes to fruition. But I think also we ought to be supportive of it because it is local money, and we're just asking that at least, all of it, if not at least most of it, still
Stays
stay
here.
local
Right.
to be used for those purposes. If it's going to be collected, that seems reasonable. But we obviously need to have a very open process and determine how it is utilized for that.
Well, and it's good timing with the Land Bank already being established, and we have a few more tools in that toolkit now too to take advantage of it with.
As well as also a shelter that
Yeah.
will be looking for operational dollars over the time. So I think at this point, just try to get an idea of what we're talking about and then hopefully support and move forward with a plan because it would then take effect this year and we'd have to talk about next year how we want to utilize those dollars. So, all right. Thought I'd bring that up for
Yep,
public discussion.
I think that's a great thing to keep tabs on.
Yep.
So.
Right.
Anything else?
Nope.
I also wanted to mention we do have dates scheduled now for the developer agreement discussion. There will be one on May 8th, which will be here. And Rhonda, you're gonna have to remind me: is that an evening one or is that an afternoon one? I don't recall either. We just had.
I think that's an evening one.
I think that's an evening
I
one
thought
on
we
May
were
8th.
doing two on one day.
Then May
That's the
28th. We're gonna
28th,
do
which
one at
is
1:30 at Pulte, and one at 5:30 here. You're saying 5:30 on May 8th also? Okay, so May 8th at 5:30. May 28th, there'll be one at 1:30 at the Pulte, I'm sorry, 1 o'clock. I'm glad I did this without writing it down.
Yeah.
I'm going to
great.
start from the beginning. May 8th, 5:30 here. May 28th, 1 o'clock at the Pulte facility on Medina Road.
And I would mention the
Anticipating larger
Pulte
crowd.
facility, although it is private, it is open to the public.
It's
They are
still a
opening
public
to the
meeting.
public. It's
Yep.
still a public meeting,
Yep.
even though it has one of our developers.
Right.
So, okay.
And then that same day, May 28, here back in this room at
5:30.
5:30.
Yeah.
Yep. And I think we have balcony B as overflow should we need it for either of the meetings that are scheduled for this room. So, so that'll happen. Obviously, there's still a review period going on. We anticipate there'll be some preliminary comments received before the end of the month, and there'll be I'll say updated version of the document circulated prior to that, and then we'll look forward to a robust discussion. So, Mr. Sheets has a question, which yeah, yeah.
You mentioned about NOACA potentially locating
Oh.
meetings
Right.
and looking for a site large enough.
Yeah.
What would be wrong with Buffalo Creek?
That might do it
It's
too.
not an ideal location for people to get
Right,
there.
right.
Yeah.
71 and 76, right?
I'm-
And the other's beautiful, but I mean, that's
Yeah.
been there and it's got
Sure.
large capacity.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that one, but that would be another option that would work.
I am a
So,
resource.
yes, yes.
Yeah, well, yeah, when I was obviously in NOAC, and for a number of years, I think that's what Chris Ronayne, the president, is trying to bring back. We used to do rotating within the counties, especially during the summer.
Right.
We get the opportunity to go, Lake, Lorraine, and Jog, and Medina County. And we did at the technology at the University Center, actually was open by then. But I agree, I don't think Buffalo Creek was open then, but between that and that, so
But
maybe
enough
we.
space there to certainly
Maybe
do
if
it.
they start this as a practice, we can do one there and then
Yeah.
the next one there. So
The-
at least we have places we can.
And the Lorraine meeting, the June meeting is going to be in Lorraine County, so at their community college. So
At LCCC Spitzer.
yeah,
Yeah.
so they have already started that process. So I'm just keeping it on my radar for when we get asked that we'll have.
We don't want to make it
locations
easy for them to
suggest.
get there, We just like go through some countryside. It's
That's-
too easy to go in an interstate, get on and off.
That's right. That's
We're
right.
not
Trying to provide alternatives.
we're
Yeah.
not a drive-through county. We're one you need to come in, visit it, and see the people. But I'm just saying.
Exactly. Any other discussion items? If not, then I'll entertain a motion. So Go ahead.
We're gonna
Yep.
be doing 2 executive sessions today, so I'm gonna make a motion for the first one. I make a motion to go into executive session to consider the purchase of property.
I will second the motion.
motion second. We need a roll call.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes, and so what we're going to do is go into executive session, and then we will be reconvening because we may be taking action after that. So, we're gonna keep the camera suspended, and we will go back on camera when we, reconvene after this first executive session. So we'll be back. Thank you.
We anticipate.
Okay, we are back. On the record, we adjourned executive session at 10:33, and it's 10:35. We're back in on our regular session.
Okay, the property that we were discussing in executive session was our property over at Technology Lane. So I'm going to make a motion to approve a resolution to approve a purchase agreement with the University of Akron for the University Center located at 6300 Technology Lane. This contract and agreement will be subject to a change in the contract that will add the existing furniture at the site, because it was supposed to be part of the original deal. So that's going to be altered, and we should have the final version by the end of the day. So, again, making the resolution and also adding the change of the furniture.
I will second the motion.
Motion and second. Any additional discussion?
I'd just like to, again, thank Chris Jacob for handling all of this.
Yes, thank
for
you.
us.
Yep. Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes. Okay, now we will entertain another motion for another executive
I
session.
will make a motion to go into executive session to discuss pending litigation.
And
Second the motion.
motion second, and this one we will adjourn from, so we'll not
Yes.
come back on the record. Roll call, please.
Sweattick?
Yes.
Hambley?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes. Thank you.